Hey everybody, so this week was the end of an era. Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman, the Wonder Boys that wrote scripts like Transformers and Star Trek, they are finally breaking up. It's very sad, but the thing is that's really interesting is these guys are leaving because they want to be directors. Alex Kurtzman already made a deal to write and direct the Venom spin-off for Spider-Man, very exciting for him. But now the question is Roberto Orci. Now, of course, he is writing Star Trek 3, as well as pretty much everything else that Alex Kurtzman isn't currently writing. But what's interesting is that he is lobbying really hard to be the director of the next Star Trek movie. I can understand why Roberto Orci wants to direct this movie. I mean, he's already in good with Bad Robot. Of course, he worked a lot with J.J. Abrams, and hey, he wants a shot at the big time too, and I appreciate that. The thing is, though Bad Robot and Skydance think, hey, this is not a bad idea, Paramount's like, what? Star Trek is pretty much Paramount's biggest franchise, and it's one of the biggest franchises of all time. And I don't think any of the Star Trek movies have ever been directed by a director who's never directed a movie before, except for maybe Leonard Nimoy, and that's frankly the only way they could bring Spock back, Spock being, you know, the most popular character of Star Trek history. It was probably a good gamble to let him direct the third movie, Search for Spock. And believe me, I get that there's a lot of great writers who end up being really good directors. I love Shane Black. He did a great job with Iron Man 3. Had never done a special effects movie before. However, he did direct Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which in itself is a great movie. Even Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a guy who everyone knows as an actor, you know, he is going to direct the Sandman movie, which is a big deal, big comic book. Everyone freaking loves that, and it's super, super impressive. But it's like no one freaked out when they found out Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to direct it because he already directed Don John. Basically, I don't think the whole thing is going to happen with Orci. It just doesn't make sense to hand over a $200 million franchise to a guy who's never directed a movie before. But I do think it's really interesting who should be the director. Now, for a long time, the word was that it's going to be Joe Cornish. Joe Cornish is a great director. He directed Attack the Block. For some reason, Joe Cornish kind of left for a while, and they're not sure, so he's kind of in the running, but also kind of not. The 50th anniversary is coming up soon in 2016. They want to put a movie out. They were pissed how long it took JJ to make the second movie, so who is going to be the guy to direct this next movie? Matt Reeves would be a great director. He's really, really good, but you know, he's kind of busy doing the Apes movies right now. Of course, Drew Goddard. I loved his work in Cabin in the Woods, but he's also really busy. He's going and doing the Sinister Six thing, and he's also directing the Daredevil Netflix show. Maybe they'll go ahead and they'll get some TV directors. I mean, Alan Taylor did a great job with Thor: The Dark World. The Russo brothers did a great job with Captain America. Maybe it won't be a guy that we all expect. You never know. You got guys like J.J. Abrams and Joss Whedon, and they're amazing showrunners, and they've created such great things, and now they're the biggest directors in the world, and they all work for Disney, and they're making Star Wars, and they're making the Avengers, and then like all of their disciples, all the guys who have worked with them for years are now directing all this other stuff too. Is there a dearth of like great directors that could possibly do this? It is a little scary, but I do know they have to make this movie, and I just want to know, who could it be? I hold out hope for Joe Cornish. I just think he's the right guy. If you look at Attack the Block, if you look at the relationship between the kids and the leadership of Moses and the aliens and how cool it is and how much he did with so little, I think this is really the guy who could take a $200 million movie and make it seem like a $400 million movie. He's a great writer. I mean, damn, the guy is writing Ant-Man right now. He's super fantastic. So I'm still gonna hold out hope that Joe can do it. But, you know, we'll have to see. Hey, maybe when Edgar Wright's done with Ant-Man, he can do it, huh? Paramount really does have a tough choice because everybody seems to be booked. Everyone that's really, really impressive so far that proved themselves in feature films. But guys, let me know in the comments down below who should direct the next Star Trek movie. I want to know. And not only that, who should the villain be? I know you guys want the Gorn. I know you guys want the Gorn. It could be the Tribbles. No, the Tribbles were in the last one, but they weren't the villains. And I think it's finally time that we show the Klingon Tribble War in a film.